I can still hear the crack in Melissa's voice the night everything snapped. Not fear, not guilt, just entitlement. "You can't ground us," her oldest said, chin lifted. "You didn't raise us." The room fell silent. My hands went cold. My marriage, my effort, my sacrifices, all dismissed in one sentence spoken by a teenager who didn't know half of what I had carried for them. And Melissa? She didn't defend me. She didn't even look up from her phone. That was the moment something inside me shifted. Not loudly, quietly, like a lock sliding into place. I'd been in their lives for 8 years. I met Melissa when she was still soft around the edges, still hopeful. She told me she wanted a partner, a co-parent, someone who would help her rebuild after 2 disastrous relationships. I thought we were building something real, something stable. Back then, the kids used to cling to my legs. They asked me to read them to sleep, to take them to the park, to fix their bikes. I did every school pickup, every late-night project, every parent-teacher conference. Their fathers showed up only when it was convenient, when a birthday camera was pointed at them. And I didn't mind, not then, because I believed effort could earn belonging. But somewhere around year 6, things shifted. I felt it before I understood it. The kids began parroting lines I'd never heard before. "My dad says you're not really a parent. My dad says mom settles for you. My dad says we don't owe you anything." At first, I thought it was insecurity. Maybe Melissa had complained to them. Maybe teenagers were just cruel sometimes. Still, I gave the benefit of the doubt. I always did, until the night I found Melissa whispering into her phone in the laundry room, voice low, tone guilty, saying things that didn't belong to a married woman. Then more signs, late returns, hidden texts, sudden defensiveness. But the tipping point wasn't the affair, it was the disrespect that followed it, the triangulation, the way she let her exes, men who contributed nothing, suddenly dictate how much authority I was allowed to have in my own home. And those kids, well, they took notes. So when the oldest looked me dead in the eye and told me I had no right to discipline them, something very calm settled into my bones. Not anger, clarity. "All right," I told them, "if that's how you feel, then I won't step where I'm not wanted." They smirked. Melissa shrugged. And I walked out of the room with a plan already forming. See, people think revenge is loud, messy, explosive. They're wrong. Revenge is silent recalibration. I didn't yell, I didn't argue, I simply stopped. No morning wake-ups, no reminders about homework, no rides to school, no lunch money magically appearing in their pockets, no emergency bailouts, no mediating fights, no emotional buffering. I let natural consequences do the heavy lifting. The first week was chaos. Missed the bus twice, forgot a science project, lunch accounts empty by Wednesday. Melissa was drowning and still trying to pretend it wasn't her fault. By week 2, the bio dads were getting daily calls. "Your son needs a ride. Your daughter needs money for the field trip. Your kids are failing classes." The same men who used to mock me suddenly realized they were expected to parent. They didn't like that. Not one bit. The pressure cracked fast. One refused to take time off work and yelled at Melissa for dumping responsibilities on him. The other demanded she control her household, then blocked her when she pushed back. The kids grew bitter, confused. Their perfect fantasy dads weren't so perfect in practice. And Melissa? Well, she finally saw the structure I'd been quietly holding together all those years. But I wasn't done. While the household unraveled, I met with a lawyer. Calm, controlled, presented financial records, outlined contributions, documented the neglect I had silently covered up. By the time I asked for divorce, the kids were failing classes and the exes were refusing to engage. Melissa was exhausted, panicked, and suddenly very aware of how much she relied on the step-parent who didn't raise them. In the final confrontation, she asked why I was abandoning them. I didn't abandon anyone, I said. I just stopped doing a job you told me I never had. She broke. Not because she loved me, but because she finally understood the cost of dismissing effort she never matched. The kids didn't meet my eyes, and I didn't force it. They would learn. Life teaches what pride refuses to. Now, months later, my phone is quiet. But theirs? Their bio-dad's phones haven't stopped ringing. Consequences have a sound, and I sleep just fine.